Mm. I think it's already recording. Okay.
Hi guys, it's Peyton and Camilo again, and this time we're going to be running the passport session under pressure. So this is just tips on how to handle stress more. So our first slide that we have to start talking about is what causes stress. Stress is a chemical in the brain and it sets off your fight or flight response. And it's usually a response to a dangerous situation.
Yes, and this slide here is just showing you guys what happens when you have your fight or flight response. So it's basically, for example, let's say you're walking in night and then somebody shows up and you're really scared. So it's like your fight or flight. So you become really aware, your heart rate accelerates and your in it like your digestion inhibits, so you get like really nervous. And so stress in the short term, as we will see, it's something good, it's something okay, but in the long run, if you have a lot of stress, it can cause you a lot of problems.
Yeah, and as Camilla was just saying, there's two types of stress. There's acute stress and there's chronic stress. Acute stress is going to be the good stress. It's going to be like uh, new challenges that occur when you get excited about something, when you're riding a roller coaster. While chronic stress is the stress that really bothers you over time and it can form really bad habits in your life and with health problems. We'll go over that in a little bit. But so some chronic stress would be like if you really hate that drive to work and or you really have somebody who's annoying in your life or bad sleep habits.
Yes, and I just want to say, if you see for chronic stress, it's usually something that repeats every single day or very often.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the bad thing. It's going over and over again. So your brain is getting really nervous, really anxious, really stressed all the time, and that's really dangerous. So some situations when you can see a lot of stress are, of course, school or work overload, maybe some health issues in your family or yourself, emotional events, traumatic events, or relationships. So as Peyton was saying, there's so many things that can cause stress.
And so within that, there's different kinds of stress. Like, so there's hindrance and there's challenge. And hindrances are bad stressors. So work and non-work hindrances would be like a fight with your significant other or a fight with your boss. And then like a challenge one is going to be like something that really motivates you to do more. And those stressors lead to stress and then they lead to strain. I'm gonna talk about this.
Yeah, so we were talking about situations and now we're talking about places, because as well as people may be causing us stress, some places are really stressful for us. So a lot of people like to be organized, but some others are not. So maybe if you are disorganized and you see things all over the place, that can cause you stress for you. Maybe multitasking, and that's a really like good one. And I am bad with that one because I always try to do a lot of things at the same time, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that's not very helpful because you don't do everything really well and then you get stressed because you didn't achieve what you wanted. So be careful with that. And physical discomfort, maybe you have like lumbar pain or maybe pain in your neck or something. So also it's important to have a good place where you work and where you study for your like health.
But stress isn't always a bad thing. It can increase your focus and concentration. It also may enhance your responsiveness and efficiency. So that might be good for like if you're really stressed about schoolwork. But if it turns into chronic stress, that's when we start to see that it gets worse.
Yes, and in like one scientific paper, as you can see in the figure here, it's basically showing how there is low level of stress, high level of stress, but there is a sweet point in the middle where you are concentrated, you are anxious, but you can manage it. So that's something important to know. You can have a stress, but to a good point, to a good
Mm-hmm.
extent. Um, and these ones we have already talked about. So some of the signs of stress, maybe you have physical symptoms, maybe you are like without energy, you have pain, or maybe emotional, you are like irritable, you get annoyed by every single thing, Maybe cognitive symptoms can include you are not good in class, maybe you have problems memorizing or doing math problems. And behavioral, maybe you are not sleeping enough, you're not eating, or maybe overeating, or maybe you are procrastinating. So there is a lot of symptoms, and everyone has them differently. So it's good you learn to know yourself, and based on that, know when you're stressed or not.
Mhm. And some of the stress can lead to long-term or chronic stress can lead to different things happening in the body. So it can increase rapid breathing. You can have higher risk of heart attack, higher blood pressure, and just I'll let you guys read some of these other ones, but these are just a few things that you might see, like what's physically wrong with your body. Yeah.
And as we were saying before, everyone is different. So either what causes you stress or the way you can handle stress is different. And again, it applies for everyone different.
So now we're going to go over some strategies on how to handle stress. So our first one is deep breathing. So lost my train of thought. I'll let you go.
So in this one, it's really important you have to put both hands in your body, one in your chest and one in your stomach. Because very often when we breathe, we are just breathing on like our chest. But the idea is getting like the oxygen to your stomach, because that way you can really breathe and relax. So one way to test this, of course, it's lie on your back and put one hand in your chest and one hand in your stomach, and then breathe, and then try to train yourself to breathe deep, as the name implies, so you feel your air moving in your stomach and not so much in your chest, because it means it's going to your lungs, it's not staying like in part of your respiratory tract.
Um,
And this one is basically saying the same thing again, and we will give you guys this presentation so you can go more in detail, but it's basically the same, and how this method of deep breathing can help you relieve stress really quickly actually.
and then here's just some resources to help with deep breathing.
Yeah. And this is another way of deep breathing. So the previous one, you inhale once and you exhale once. In this one, according to some people in Stanford, you have to inhale twice and then you have to exhale once. And so basically what they were saying is when you inhale, you increase your alertness. So think, for example, maybe you're playing a sport. When you're like running a lot, you start to inhale a lot because you are tired, you are really anxious, you need air in your lungs. So it increases your alertness. But once you exhale, it's when you are relaxing. That's why it's called sighs, because it's like a deep exhaling process so you can get relaxed and then relieve stress.
And then our next strategy is crying. So there's three different types of tears. There's basal tears, reflex tears, and emotional tears. Basal are going to be the ones that keep your eyes moist. Reflex is going to be like triggered when there's an irritant, like such as smoke in the air, or like when you're chopping an onion. And then emotional is going to be like because you're hurt, or it's because it's going to your emotional tears are going to release higher stress hormones than all the other two tiers will. So the benefits of crying are crying has a soothing effect. So it'll help regulate your emotions. It'll help calm others down because they know that they can relate to you, or it'll help calm you down. And it also reduces stress. It also helps relieve pain, enhance your mood, and release toxins and relieve other stress. It aids in sleep and it dulls the pain. So it's not great to cry all the time, but letting it build up to the point where you have to you have to cry at least sometimes. It actually does. There's scientific evidence that crying does help reduce stress.
Definitely. And so now we are going to see different tips, different than, of course, breathing that can also help you. So exercising, which has a similar effect than crying. Maybe if you like animals or pets, playing with your pet, of course, it's a great idea. Maybe meditation, listening to music, taking a nap. To me, that's the favorite one, taking a nap, because I forget about everything. So
Yeah, it's basically just doing things that you want to do and not things you have to do, is what I would say. Things that you really enjoy doing.
And here, guys, we have more options for you. So again, everyone has different strategies, but here we are laying out many strategies. So you can try maybe one or two of them and see which one works for you, and then stick to that one because that will help you a lot in times of stress. Okay, and these are more like alternative techniques if you want. So it's been shown according to science that if you eat carbs in a moderate way, you feel like without a lot of stress. And think of it like in the following way. Have you ever eaten something maybe after dinner and then you feel like kind of sleepy, tired, you know? That's something that happens in your body. So when you eat carbohydrates, for example, let's say bread or pasta, or pizza or something like that, you feel more relaxed. So that's one alternative way in moderation to feel more relaxed. Another one is eating food with tryptophan. And we have a link there to find foods with tryptophan. But that basically helps you to feel more relaxed as well. So maybe if you eat turkey, if you eat cheese, if you eat some types of fruit, that helps you to feel more relaxed.
And don't forget to take breaks, take care of yourself through exercising, getting plenty of nutritious food, and definitely water. Actually, try to think about how many times a day that you drink water because a lot of people don't. And then recognize when you need help because we do have resources on campus that can help. So some of these services include therapy assistance online through the Wellness Center. And the Wellness Center actually puts on events like this one and others so you can connect with professionals in person or their one-on-one therapy is just online this semester. We'll see how it goes for the following semesters, but it might be online again, but they also might turn it back to one-on-one in person as well.
Yeah, and remember they have counselors, and every Tuesday by 10 a.m. they have workshops. You can either go to the union or sign up online as we share in our weekly emails. So you guys can go and learn maybe more techniques to relieve stress, maybe how to get to know yourself better, and many other things like the Wellness Center it's offering you guys. So remember, we are here for you, and Northwest is here to help you. So just let us know when you need something. Remember, you have a lot of tools, techniques, so please use them for your benefit.
And while Jackie and Julie aren't trained therapists, they are still great resources to reach out to when you're struggling in like your classes or you're having a lot of stress about your classes or just stress in general. They are great listeners and have some great life events that they've worked through that might help you as well. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think that's all. Thank you guys for
Thanks,
listening.
guys.